everybody and welcome on today's video. To start this video, let's fabricate something. Let's go inside. So this is just an ordinary plastic pot, nothing special. What I'm going to do is to cut here around with my little Dremel, what is this called, and yeah, well, I'll show you when it's done. So I'm gonna cut now, so I'll speed this up for the noise. Nice. This big gray piece of plastic scrap here is the next step in the cutting. So I'm going to leave, well, what is this, 2 centimeters at each side. So I'm gonna roughly mark that out like so, and then I'm also going to mark the interior of the cut that I have in this plastic thing. I will try to make this as straight as possible. Again, this is not rocket science. And to cut this, I'm going to take a bigger grinder, because these Dremel things are nice, but they're not really strong and they are quite expensive. So I'm gonna take a bigger grinder and do this. Okay, let's go. Always wait that your machines are not running anymore before you put them down. Just keep them in your hands, because the most accidents happen when they're still running and you're trying to put them down, because then they might take a jump on you. And I think the grinder is one of the most dangerous machines here. So that's done. Okay, maybe clean this up just a little. So I've been roughly marking this out, but I think it's gonna be better if I measure it. So I'm gonna take 1.5 and then 3.5. These are centimeters. 7.5, 9.5, and then I have 11. That's good. So, and now from the other side I have 6. So if I take 1.5, 3.5, and well, 5.5, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to mark this out with lines now, and like I said, it's just rough. If this thing works, I'm planning to make a bigger one, but for the moment I really don't need a bigger one, because I don't have a whole lot of little shoots on my plant, like so. And then here, 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 and here. So that makes 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's not bad, 15. So now I'm going to drill a hole of 4 mil on every little cross. Just put a piece of old woods under it, so that my bench doesn't look like a Swiss cheese at the end. Well, that means I'm through. So I have to do them all. So now I want a bigger hole in each corner. I'm going to take 8 mil to do that. I hope this drill is not too blunt. I'm gonna clamp it because it's gonna fly otherwise. It did fly, so okay, that's a good one. Alright, now through every of these holes I should be able to put a piece of bamboo. I should have 4. I only have 2, but they are extremely long, so that's gonna be okay. So I can cut these in half. Now, how is this supposed to work? Well, I'm going to try to demonstrate. You have your tree in a big pot. And your tree has little twigs. Suppose that this piece of aluminum is a little twig, and well, I'm just going to make it stand up like this. Of course, it's going to be difficult because, well, every little twig has to come through one of these holes. Let's do that, like so. Okay. Now, what is the little twig going to do? It's going to grow, but it's going to be constricted and starts to swell and become bigger than the hole. And then it is time for the air layering. Yeah, I should also mention that these bamboos will hold the tree in the pots. Yeah, so once I see that these things are starting to swell, I can add my little pot on top. Of course, what I need to explain first is that I could wound slightly the bark that's growing over the hole, but I'm even not sure that this is going to be necessary. So, this is the little twig. Through the hole it grew, and then I put this one right over it, and as you can see, it has edges and all the little holes are visible. And now I just can take my substrate, put it over it, and because I have edges, the substrate is going to hold the pot in its position. Now, after a week or 6, 7 maybe, I just can remove the pot get my soil away and have a look to see if I have roots. Now, if I have roots, I can locate from under, because it's supposed to be higher, but that wouldn't be on camera then. I can locate the twig that has roots and cut it off, and then take the rooted cutting, well, air layer, technically it's an air layer, away, clean up my edges of the pot, and put my pot again and add substrate. And so I only have to remove the ones that have really good roots. Now, of course, I have 15 holes in here, so I think that's kind of nice. I can air layer 15 small twigs in one go. Now, another thing that is interesting with this technique is that the mother plant is still growing, and probably you get some new shoots everywhere. So in the summer, after the first removal of the first air layers, I have a little bit of dust here now. The air layers, I can cut everything back, let it grow for the rest of the season, and then all the new shoots can be used to propagate by air layering. So that's the plan, and I'm gonna do that with my Trident maple. And so this is the little Trident maple that I bought at Nolanders, and well, that's the one that I'm going to try to air layer with this new method. Of course, I have a few little twigs here, and that's why I am a little bit in a hurry, because, well, these three little twigs, well, I will probably air layer these guys, but then, yeah, these two big branches are a little bit too high, so I guess I'll have to get rid of these. And well, to make the tree grow a whole lot better, I'm intending to put it in this huge pot, and this will work perfectly with the plastic piece that I just fabricated. So let's get this one out of the pot and then see what we can do. So this tree is wired in, and I don't remember how much I paid for this, but it wasn't a lot. I think it was $10 or something like that. And well, honestly, can't complain, because I have a nice training pot now that I can use for something else. So this was really a good buy. So let's get rid of all that stuff here and try to get the tree out, which shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, well, no, that's a consistent root mat, and I must say this tree is really in excellent substrate, so that's very good. It's been wired in, which I don't like, because it always causes problems with marks on the roots, and that's not good. So I will not rewire that tree in the pot, but I will comb out the roots and at least have a look at the root base of this one. Again, wire. So combing this out radially, nothing new. I'm not really planning to cut off any root. Well, that wasn't the plan, but I must say this is really a tremendous root mat here. But that's okay, that's gonna make the tree grow a whole lot more, a whole lot better. And because I intend to put it in a way too big pot, that's not really an issue for all these roots. But I'd like to have a look at the surface roots, because one day probably this tree will become a tree on its own. And I sure want to remove all the wires that are in it. So I need to break up and drain screens. Well, oh, growing on a piece of tile, so that's also something that is done to create a flat root base. So this is really a quality piece of material. And the root base is not bad. Is a little, well, not too great here. We have some curving roots that I will not let develop too much in this direction. So yeah, it is a good plan to comb this out. Should I trim this? I don't think so. As long as everything in the first 7 to 8 centimeters grows radial, that's good. For now, that's good for now. Okay, so I removed a little bit of root by combing out, and that's all I need to do. I think that's okay. Don't like this root at all. I'll remove it. And the rest seems, well, quite radial. There's not a whole lot of root here. There's a root going in the complete opposite direction, so this one I will also remove. Okay, so that's it. Because I have no roots here, I'm just going to wound the tree which is technically airlayering this portion, and maybe I'll get some new roots sprouting out here, which is a good thing. So I also needed to cut back these two long and strong branches. Now I might use these as cuttings, because you can take cuttings from Trident maples quite easily. Now this is difficult, so I might give this a shot. So let's see, I've changed my mind about how to use these bamboo pieces, because, well, bamboo can rot, can decay, so that's not great. It's better to have some material that is not going to rot. So I have a few pieces of plastic tubing, which looks better. I can now position them on the bottom and then put my plastic piece over here and secure it just by putting a little piece of metal here over it, and so that won't move. So I think it's good. I cut them on a good height. I think it's just on camera. Yeah, well, so now I'm going to pot up this tree and then try to put 1 or 2 or maybe 3 little shoots through it, and that's gonna be fine. So a base layer of soil, the tree on top, and then a whole lot more soil. Like so. This is not complicated. And I'm going to comb out the roots while they're in the soil. So now I'm sure that they're radial and they are staying in position. An easy little trick that you don't see often, but it really works well. The only thing is that some of the roots come a little higher then, but that's easy to repair, because you just have to lift the tree a little and then work the soil in, which is something that you would ordinarily do. It's starting to rain, but I'm not going inside. Because I don't want to move all my stuff here, and it's just a little rain. And I can finish this at a later date also. I mean, the tree is not gonna suffer because there is a little air pocket for 2 days in the soil. So, okay, now I have my plate here. So 1 stick comes here, that's good. 1 will come here, that's also good. and then one should come somewhere here, and the fourth one comes here, like so. Okay, so they're all approximately the same height, and as you see I can add a whole lot more soil. So the thing now is, I'm gonna take two of these shoots, put them through a hole. That's not too difficult. Slowly and gently. Can I take a third one? Yes, I can take a third one. Well, that's not a lot, but that's because I don't have a whole lot of shoots right now. I must not damage the shoots. That looks good. So that's 3. That's not a lot, but it's 3. Like so. And then I'll take my pieces of iron so that my plate doesn't move. Like that. So it's done. I just need to secure everything now, and I'm gonna do that off camera because it's starting to rain really heavy now. So let's just finish this thing. So my little air layering construction seems to do quite okay. Now it will be fixed more when these little twigs are starting to grow and they will hold the plate. Now of course that's not a lot. It would be nice to have more little shoots that I can put through, but who knows, maybe in a couple of months I'll have a few stronger shoots, and then maybe I can do a leaf cut and put them through. For the rest, I'm rather happy. My little pot can come on top when I have growth, and then the air layering can start. So I'll keep you updated. I think it's a quite safe way to do some air layering of very, very fine twigs that you cannot do otherwise. So that's all that I have for you today. If you liked it, please share, like, subscribe. What can you do? Hit the notification bell, and that's it. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.